So really excited to showcase this to you guys. In this webinar, we're going to talk about how to turn your website into a 24 hours a day, 7 days a week lead generation machine, right? How to turn it into the best salesperson in your business, right? So we're going to go dive deep into this presentation and showcase how to really turn your website into your best salesperson, and really go deep, right? So let's get going. So before we get started, I really want you to imagine the scenario in your head, right? I really want you to imagine a scenario where your website is consistently generating between 50 to 150 leads every single month. How would your business be different, right? How would things be different for your business if you get to that point, right? I want you to really imagine a scenario. Would you hire more salespeople in your business? Would you be able to outsource some of your work? A lot of people have that dream of really having 24 hours a day, 7 days a week lead generation. A lot of the contractors you work with have a big challenge with lead generation online, and they're relying on a lot of lead brokers to really generate leads. But what would your life look like if you could consistently generate your leads yourself without relying on these third parties? How would things be different, right? I really want you to imagine the scenario. And who is this for, right? This is for any roofing company that wants to generate more business online, wants to grow their business, wants to scale their business. Anybody wants to learn. Anybody wants to really just turn your website into get a return on investment online. There are so many contractors we talk to that struggle with just finding visibility online, just finding with their salespeople. So we're gonna go and dive deep and really want to show you how to turn your website into the best salesperson. Any local business this is for. Anybody wants to that's in the plumbing, HVAC, other verticals we work with well because the information we send really applies to any vertical that is local, right? Any local business. Going to show you some things that really showcase with the local side, right? So I'll give you a bit of background about myself. I started the company in 2017, and in that time frame, I've I worked as a civil engineer in college, so I don't actually have a marketing background at all. So I worked in college for a construction company. After college, I worked for them for a couple of years, and then I decided to get into technology sales. But I was always interested in the online world. I was really fascinated with a way to generate business online, right? Generate business while you sleep. That's the whole goal of this presentation, right? So that's really what I got into. I got into online marketing in 2009. I really started kind of freelancing since 2014, 2015. And then in 2017, I decided just to focus on the roofing side and start an agency. So I got my first client in June of 2017. So it's about 7 years since we got our first client in the roofing space. And in that time frame, we've generated over 150,000 inbound leads, resulted in over 500 million in sales for our clients. We have over 135-star reviews. We have over close to 40 video testimonials, and we work with companies from the startup phase to companies doing over 20 million in sales in the home improvement space. So we have a wide range of experiences from all different types of companies. Typically, our clientele is doing over 2 million in sales and up to 100 million in sales. That's really what the people we work with in that time frame. What makes us different? Again, this is nothing for sale. This is just good information that you can use, that can apply, practical information you can use for your business that can really apply it and just take it to your marketing people right away. So if you own a roofing company, you can send them this webinar, right? And to your marketing people, and they can learn just apply the information that they receive, right? Also, if you have an agency, you can send them some information. You're just going to get some information. Again, this is all information for you guys to use. If you have any questions at the end, just let me know. Also, if you want to work with us, you can do is just schedule an intro call at the end, and we can do a free website audit. We can learn more about your business and really understand, what the next steps are, right? So let's get down to it, right? So the most important question you have to understand, and the reason why we really focus on having a good website is really about the website, is really about getting a return on investment, right? There's a lot of roofing companies owners, right, that rather spend $50,000 on getting a new truck because of the tax benefits, than actually invest in their website. And I made the argument years ago that actually having a good website can be potentially worth a lot more than having a nice truck. I know a nice truck is very practical because it could get some results right away. You can actually have salespeople drive. But the whole purpose of a website is to generate business, right? To generate more leads, to generate more sales, right? But in order to get that outcome, right, which is getting a return on investment, there are other things that your website needs to have in order to get that outcome, right? The outcome is getting more leads, more sales, right? Right. But we need to have all these building blocks in place to get that outcome, right? So it first starts with you having your professional online presence, right? And having a professional online presence creates trust with your customers, right? When you have a professional online presence, it gets it gives people the ability to have a good first impression, right? You only have one chance to make a good first impression. So if you have that ability, then you want to make it best, right? Also can reflect your brand. In this case right here, you see this example. There's a client in New Orleans. They have obviously a lot of happy clients, and that is just a group picture of their brand, right? So it just showcases their real business, they have real trucks, their real information. That really makes a big impact on the your professional online presence, right? That's the first building block. The second building block is just making sure your website is optimized for SEO and local SEO, right? So SEO is really about improving the visibility of your website to get more traffic. And then also obviously having a high converting website to generate more leads, right? The local SEO part of it is making sure you're optimized for Google My Business, for Bing, for Yelp, and making sure you're getting seen on the map side, on the local side, right? So having these two in place are really make a big impact on your overall outcome, right? Right, is getting more leads, right? Getting more leads online is really about having these two things in place, and it starts with your website and setting that foundation, right? Other thing your website can do, right? It's really building. These are each of these points are building blocks to get to get to the outcome of getting more leads, right? Other having a project gallery, right? Having service descriptions and having testimonials, right? Project gallery can showcase the work you're doing, right? We live in a very visual age, right? So if uh, you have pictures or images, high quality images of your work, it can really showcase your expertise, right? So, for example, if you're a metal roofing contractor and somebody wants to hire you to do metal roofing, obviously you want to showcase metal roofing projects, right? Same thing with us, right? It's if we want to showcase our expertise, we showcase the result of our digital marketing campaigns. Same thing with you guys, right? You're selling yourself online, right? So you have a project gallery that showcases your work. Service descriptions, right? You're actually providing a detailed service descriptions of all the services you do. So, for example, if you're a roofing company, but also does siding, you do different siding exterior, siding replacement, siding repair. Same thing with roofing, residential roofing. If you could do commercial, TPO, flat roofing, all these different things really make a big impact in your service description. Later in the webinar, you're going to see the 10 elements of creating the best service description page for your business, right? And obviously, the third part is having testimonials, right? Testimonials, having reviews. Your customers are your best salespeople. So if you have a lot of reviews, if you have a lot of testimonials, that really helps you create trust and buildability online. One thing with people today is 2024, June. People are very skeptical online, right? So you have to overcome that skepticism with actual real results. It's very hard to, fake a video testimonial. I mean, it's maybe easier now with AI, but if you have real video testimonials showcasing the work and actually showcasing the work you've done in front of the person's home, then that really makes a big difference. Other tips and tricks with this is that overall, if you see the picture right there, if you're looking at the reviews, if you have like images of people, smiling, the actual customers, right? That helps with the reviews. Obviously, video testimonials work best. But if you have images and actual pictures of the people, that actually works really well with that. It creates more brand and trustability, right? Other thing that your website could do is really just again setting the foundation is customer engagement and support. right? So you're engaging your customers in a local manner, right? So if you see this example, this person is Colorado, right? You want to showcase that you work in Colorado, right? You actually take care of the neighborhood, right? So somebody in New York looking for a siting for a roofing company doesn't really make sense. So they're not gonna contact you because these guys are in Colorado, right? It's a local type of engagement, right? You also you give an easy way for your current customers to contact you, right? Through the website, right? So your website can serve as a vehicle in which your customers can contact you in multiple manners, right? Through email, through text. I recommend having, three forms of communication, right? Having phone calls, having emails, having chat support, or even having text, right? Those are all different things that we showcase, right? Moving on. So again, it's about creating trust, overcoming skepticism with your customers, with the traffic you're getting. And one way to do that is obviously building the trust and credibility, right? So brand trust and credibility. If you're a new company, right? Most new companies, if they're selling any type of shingle replacement, right? 70% of roofing jobs are shingle. So what happens if you're starting a roofing company or you've been around for a long time, you have to, hire labor that can actually install the shingles, right? So typically what those manufacturers do is they have certification programs and training programs, right? So what you should do have is once you go that through that certification program, you have that on your website, you show the different ones you do, you showcase the manufacturer's warranty so you can actually build that trust and credibility with your customers, right? So there's many different manufacturers. If you see the screen right there, this is a GAF, and what that means right there is basically, you know, it showcases how many roofs installed that person has, right? So if you look at the highest one is actually diamond. The diamond one is anybody who sells, I think, over 3 million in material from the manufacturer. So they have a lot of experience installing that specific shingle, right? So other things about it. So one of the big things that we do, and one of our key strategies is that we take a 360 approach to helping our clients grow their business, right? And the foundation of that 360 approach is a website. So what we do is when we do any type of advertising, if we do any Google advertising, any Facebook marketing, what we try to do is we make sure that we integrate everything with the website. So we send Google Ads traffic to the website. We send Facebook, Instagram traffic to the website. It has all links to your website. So just it makes it the foundation. Local service ads is linked to your website. The Google ads is linked to your website. Your maps is all linked to your website. It's all a 360 approach. All these different listings are all listed to your website. If you see here also, this is just another form fill that you can also do email marketing as well, where you actually get the customer's information and start emailing them to nurture the leads in a certain manner. So these are just different examples you see on screen that can really help you integrate everything, right? So just think about it as your website is your central hub, right? Where like you're getting the information, is the foundational piece, right? Now we get to the lead generation conversion part, right? So let me see the screen and you guys and see if you guys have any questions right now. And what we'll do is at the end, I will handle the questions at the end. So we can just take it to the end. But for now, we can just showcase the lead generation conversion, right? So the outcome is getting more leads, right? With your with your current website. So the benefits of having a website generate leads is that first of all, it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? So your website works as a salesperson. There's no days off, there's no sick days. It's always working with you. If you have good hosting, then it can it's not if good hosting, good security is not going to go down. Making sure your contact forms are integrated with your landing pages, are integrated with your CRM. So you have your contact forms are going to the CRM and you're actually getting leads throughout the campaign. And then having call to actions, right? And I'm gonna go in detail, really just different examples of call to actions. What I've seen work well is depending on the type of business you run, right? So you can be a free inspection, free estimate. But if you include offers, and I'm gonna go through it in a couple examples in a little bit, it really makes a big impact on conversion. So These are all things that really just showcase, who you are, what you do. Um, and that kind of really just showcases what you do in a second, right? So the importance of having a website for roofing companies, these are all very important stats that really just uh, make you understand the importance of having this for your business, right? So 97% of consumers use the internet to find local businesses. So it's very important that obviously it's understandable. I read a stat that from Roofing Contractor Magazine that says that 90% of roofing jobs begins with an online search. So it's probably much higher now. It's probably 97% today. So obviously you don't want to be seen as a ghost, and your website is a first piece to solving that challenge, right? 75% of people admit to making judgments on a company's credibility based on the website. Like I said before, you only have one chance to make a first impression. So you want to have your website make a first impression. Business will optimize online presence, see conversion rates go up by 14.6%. So I'm going to go in a second some mindset that I'm going to talk about. But basically, the goal of your website, like I said earlier, is to generate leads. But what I see a lot of challenges is having websites are getting traffic, they're not converting. So that's a big thing that we will focus on is conversions on the second, right? So like I said before, right? Your website is the foundational piece of your online presence, right? It's you're seen as the most important part, right? Like the building block, right? We get many questions on like if I can do SEO on your website. Um, and most of the time we reject those clients. We don't work with those clients, right? Typically when a client has a website, they want to do SEO, they want to do paid ads, we have to build them a new website because their current website is not good enough, right? Um, so that happens in the place. So if you're building something, if you're building in a foundational piece, right? If you're doing traffic and you're building a house and you have a wrong foundation, then it's gonna make your house go down. You don't want that to happen, right? So make sure you have a really strong foundation. It starts with your website, having an SEO optimized website, having the foundational pieces, and all this presentation is going to do is really having all the foundational pieces for your website, right? The big thing with this is that think about the homeowner for a second, right? The homeowner has about, let's say, if you look on in the United States and they go to a city like Miami, if they go on their phone and they type in roofing company, they literally have about 500 options they can choose from, right? If they're in a more saturated market like a Dallas, right? Dallas is like a big metro, it's like 6 million people. There are about 8,000 roofing companies in that area, right? So how do you stand out? It's very difficult to stand out in the crowded marketplace, right? And the way to do that is not being seen as a commodity, right? There are two forces that are trying to turn your business to commodity. The first is your competition. Your competition is trying to belittle your pricing, is trying to say you're not good enough or whatever. That's the first factor, right? The other factor is your current customers, right? Your customers are trying to turn your commodity because they don't value what you're doing. And the way you overcome that is showcasing that you're unique. So in this case, this is a Roost by Dawn. They their whole goal is to really make sure that when somebody comes into their office, when somebody buys a roof, they're creating an experience, right? They call themselves shingle artists, right? So that's like the whole goal of this thing. You're not just a regular roofing company. You're a different you're a choice, right? You're not a commodity, right? So that's really the big thing with this is that, and the best way to do that, and that's not for this presentation, is by creating a unique value proposition, and that's something that you can read about. I recommend anything with Jay Abraham, who's like the godfather of marketing. Right, read his stuff on creating a unique value proposition, something that you can really learn from, and you can really just apply to your business, right? Um, the different tools that we use. So let's go over the different tools. So I went over like the what it needs to have, and there are different ways to get to that outcome, right? For content management, strategies, solutions, right? We recommend WordPress as a building tool that we use for building websites, right? For the website, there's basically on WordPress, and the reason why we recommend WordPress is that it's much easier. It's pretty easy to use. 43% of websites in the world use WordPress as a content management solution, and also it works well for SEO. It's not very expensive. We use an Elementor plugin to build websites, so Elementor Builder to build the actual WordPress websites. There's a couple of cons that I see with WordPress. If you're using different plugins, it could be unsecure, right? With the security reasons, right? It can also be hacked pretty easily if you don't update the plugins in a continual manner. And those are kind of the big things I see with WordPress. So, but WordPress is very versatile. It's very, you can build really nice websites, really fast websites. You can build, and they're very SEO friendly as well. So these are all different things that can really give an advantage on using WordPress. There are other tools that I put in place, and the reason why I have these in place is that, you know, I recommend WordPress if anybody's doing this, but there's different, I've seen different agencies use different CMSs to build websites, and there's just different ones you can use, right? So Webflow is one that I've seen used by a lot of designers, a lot of agencies. It's fast and easy to use. It creates really nice sites, really fast websites. Wix is a, drag and drop builder, is one of the most popular website builders in the world. There are about 20 that you can find, but Wix is one of the most popular ones. GoDaddy is a one of the most popular ones. There's very simple websites. I don't really recommend if you want to get into the SEO game, but you can build a really, presentable website like in an hour, right? GoDaddy is also a domain registrar, is also a hosting, so you could do all these different things in GoDaddy as well. It's probably the biggest hosting company in the world. I'm not sure if there's other bigger ones. I mean, I think Amazon's obviously the biggest one, but that's more on a B2B side. Um, Website is a sales tool. So I talked about like the website, the building, the foundation, the 10 pieces, right? Now we're going to talk about how to turn your website into a lead generation machine, right? The benefits having your website as a lead generation machine. First of all, it's always on duty. There doesn't take any days off, right? You can generate leads every single day of the week. You can generate a ton of leads during a storm, right? If there's a need for your business, there's going to be more leads on that way, right? It can also give you customer insights, right? Different customer insights into what your customers are typing in, what search traffic is driving the most revenue for your business, right? You can see the psychographics and demographics of your customers. If you're using different tracking software, you can see how your visitors are behaving in the actual website. Also, it gives you a way to directly communicate with your customers, right? Allows you to directly communicate with your leads. So all these different things serve as a tool to really kind of generate more business for you, right? So these are all different tools you can use that can really help you get the end goal of getting more leads with your business, right? And one concept I really want to drill down because it's very important to understand, because really when it comes down to having a successful SEO campaign or a successful getting more leads and getting more business online, it comes down to two things, right? The first thing is getting more traffic, right? But if you're getting the wrong type of traffic, if you're getting traffic that is not generating any business or is not converting, then it's worthless, right? So it's very important to understand this, because I see this very commonly with a lot of roofing websites, is that some of them do have traffic, but they're not getting a lot of leads, right? So that's a big factor. And also I see a lot of websites where they're actually getting the same amount of traffic, but one website has, 5 or even 10x the amount of leads. So I'm going to go through that in a second and showcase the reasons why that happens. But important to understand this concept, right? Traffic without leads is worthless. It's also important to understand with Google Ads campaigns, right? Google Ads, you're actually paying the pay per click, right? You're paying for the actual click. And Google's charging a lot of money for that. But if you're paying for the click and you're not getting leads, right? It's really about the outcome is getting more leads, right? And what this shows you right here, it shows you the behavior of people when just an example of when somebody actually searches for your website or lands on your website, right? So they take an action, right? They have a call to action. So somebody clicks on an ad or they go to the page. Then they go to the homepage. They read about who you are, what you do, and then they likely go to a service page, right, where it provide the different descriptions of what they're looking for, and then they become a lead by submitting their information, the contact information, and they go to the thank you page on the next steps. And that really kind of tracks the conversion. So this is just an example of a person like you going through all the different phases of a from a traffic to the actual lead, right? So make sure that kind of understand like the customer journey, right? The website journey of a person, right? So there are different types of search intent. So when you're breaking down traffic, right? And we use different tools, and one of the tools that we use is SEMrush. So when you go and actually put a website to search the traffic, right? SEMrush is one tool. Obviously, there are many different tools you can use, but you can see the different type of traffic that you're getting based on the keywords, right? So there are different keywords based on the search intent, right? So and they really correspond to the funnel, right? So if you see in the top right there, there's a top of the funnel, which is a more awareness, right? So you're casting the widest net. And the bottom of the funnel is a purchase, right? People are ready to make a decision, right? Informational keywords are people for looking for general information. So, for example, right, why is my roof leaking? Could be a blog post on your website, and people actually go and actually click on the link and go to your website. They are not really looking for a roofer just right away, but they're looking for a reason why their roof is leaking. So you're casting a wide net, and now they're aware of your actual company, right? You providing them the right information. Now they more likely to trust you, right? That's how it works. Commercial users have a specific product or service and are comparing options, right? So somebody like roofing company near me, right? Commercial type of keyword, right? Transactional type of keyword, right? It's research mode. They're doing research comparing that. That's like the first step in actually becoming a lead, right? They're past awareness stage and the research stage, right? Navigational, they're looking for specific page or looking for specific company. That's the evaluation phase. They're comparing and contrasting different companies. And then transactional is the commercial intent, like roofing estimate, right? Roofing like a roofing estimate, roofing near me. Like those are all like purchase keywords, transactional keywords. In our PPC campaigns, Google Ads campaigns, people are usually targeting these keywords in the bottom of the funnel. On the SEO front, we're targeting more on the wider of the funnel, so you're casting a wider net, right? So combined with both, that's what really kind of drives the results, right? So your people at the top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, and ultimately the bottom of the funnel, right? Um, and this is the key elements of an effective service page. I told you earlier that I would be going over this, but when you're creating a service page, for example, right, if you have a roofing repair service page, right? A roof replacement service page, Miami, right? The first thing is you got to do is you got to make sure that you give a good description of what you're targeting, right? Clear and compelling headlines, right? The headline is very important, right? What is the main keyword, right? Focus key phrase, right? What is the main keyword? You're telling Google what this page is about, right? Detailed service description, right? You're providing concise information about the actual service description, right? Visual elements. If you actually showcase, a roof replacement being done, it just adds more pop to the page and just creates more compelling content, right? All this is really about creating compelling content to get people to take action, right? Customer testimonials I talked about earlier, right? If you have a customer testimonial of actual roof repair, somebody just get a roof repair of the actual place, then that creates an effective service page. So if you're, hire a website agency, you should look for these different things when creating a service page, right? Company team photos, right? Data and statistics. If you show data of the work you've done, that's also a great thing. We've done, for example, we've done 10,000 roofs in the last 5 years. Data, right? FAQs, right? Frequently asked questions, right? These are common questions. Think about the most common questions your salespeople get. Put that in the service page, right? Obviously, clear calls to action, right? You're reading this information. At the end of the day, is to try to generate a lead, right? So you have a clear call to action at the end, right, or in the middle, and then you get people to take action. Robust content, right? This is more on the SEO side. I haven't seen a lot of websites rank that have 500 words. So it's really 800 words or more, 1,000 words, 1,500 words, whatever the volume is making sure you have enough content to shoot have all the information right on the service page. So more 800 words, 1,000 words, 1,500 words, all different things that really are important in creating a very effective service page. You see this right here. So Solar Roofing, obviously one of our best clients, they are doing really well with the campaign. This is just from this year up to May. They've generated over 500 phone calls from their website alone, right? So imagine that. So 500 phone calls on the website in, I don't know, 5 months. That's about 100 calls a month from their website, obviously, right? Another one, Rinaldi Roofing, about 569 website calls in the last month. They have about, from January to May. So it gives you an idea of the type of success that you can have. Obviously, just not one element. It's creating multiple elements. Having a website is a foundational piece to get that outcome, right? To get more calls, right? So core elements of an effective website, right? So like I said from the beginning, the core outcome is getting more leads, right? And in order to get that outcome, you have to have all these different plays, specifically to get more leads, right? And this really comes down to more on the SEO side, and really just creating the best user experience to generate the best possible result for people searching for your business, right? It starts with speed, right? Having a fast website. So what Google is trying to do is when they're searching for information, right? If somebody is searching for information on Google, Google wants to provide that information to the end user as quickly as possible, right? So they're actually getting the information as quickly as possible to the end user, right? If your website is taking a long time to provide the information, then Google will devalue your website and will hurt you with the rankings, right? So having a first website that fast is important, right? So I would recommend using Google Speed Insights, and this is a free tool that Google has that allows you to look at your website speed, right? And you can measure the website speed and performance, right? Um, and we use different plugins. One of the plugins we use to increase the speed of our website is NitroPack. And for us, it takes actually a couple hours per work to do this, right? It's a big impact on the SEO side, or having a fast website, having a fast user experience, right? Other thing is having user experience, right? User experience is about creating the best possible user experience for the user, right? Easy to navigate, visually appealing. It has low bounce rate, right? A bounce rate means is that people they stay on a page and they don't leave your website. They go to another page on your website because it's all easy to navigate, easy to follow, right? 88% of online users won't return after a site after a bad experience. So your website can be getting a lot of traffic, but if it's providing the bad user experience, then people are just going to be lost. And that happens very, very often, right? 38% of users won't engage with the website if the layout's unattractive, right? So again, this is about creating the best user experience to create the best results for your business, right? Mobile optimization, right? 60% of internet traffic is mobile, right? So it's more important, probably more than 60%. This is probably a stat from a few years ago. But it's more important how your website looks on mobile because more people use the mobile on their device to search for websites. So typically what happens is that the majority of your leads are coming from somebody searching further on their mobile phone, right? So how your website loads, how it looks like on the mobile version of a website is very important. For us, we create two versions of a website when we work with clients. We create a desktop version and we create a mobile version, right? The mobile version typically has less content, right? Typically has a little bit less content, and it adds really fast on the mobile experience, right? Calls to action again. So I talked about this earlier, right? Having calls to actions. Um, what we found is that most websites that we analyze don't have a call to action. They don't have something to really help people generate more results. And having a call to action is very important in getting more leads, right? Other things is having compelling content. So compelling content is about um, creating content that gets people to read the content, right? So 61% of users find that if they're not looking for what you're actually looking for, then just leave the website, right? So if you see these couple of examples, right, you're providing a solution to their problem, right, with the content, right? The content is gonna walk them through hold their hand and walk them through the solution to make sure they understand what they're getting into and making sure they're actually doing what they're doing in that aspects, right? So that's really about creating content. It's about conversional content, about persuasive content, informational content, having the right tone, having obviously creating easy to read content. You don't want to write above. Good writing is really simple and easy to understand, right? It's concise language, right? It's not above fifth grade level. So that's really about creating content in that level, right? And again, I'm gonna talk about a grade offer. I'm gonna create an entire webinar on just this topic alone and grade offer, because grade offer, having a great offer is one of the most important things, and just really growing your business, especially in the roofing side, right? A great offer is will have a big impact on your Google ad campaigns, on your Facebook campaigns, on your website campaign. So, and this is an example. I'm going to go through this in detail in another presentation, but what this shows you is that a website can have a lot of traffic, and what it gets people to convert is having a great offer. A great offer will increase conversion rates. I've seen it up to 5 to 10x on the website. We have current clients that are getting the same amount of traffic, but one client is getting 5 or even 10x the amount of conversions, right? So these are just some examples you see on the screen. Obviously, there are better examples out there, right? The more compelling your offer, the more leads you're going to be getting, right? And obviously, what we can do is we'll create a workshop to make sure you understand how to do this for your own business, and we'll kind of walk you through how that works, right? Um, Obviously, your website has to be SEO optimized. So I talked about the importance before, right? The foundational piece of having a great website is getting more leads, right? And it starts with having the website, right? And then also having an SEO optimized website, right? Because again, in order to get more leads, you need more traffic, right? You're not gonna get traffic without SEO, right? So SEO is really about increasing the visibility of your website, making sure the website is cost effective with the lead you're generating. So the pure benefit of having SEO is that the value compounds over time. You're getting more leads over time because you're not paying for the leads. One thing for sure, 100% fact, is that the leads on Google, on Facebook, when you're doing paid advertising, is going to keep getting more expensive every single year because more advertisers are advertising every single year, right? Also gives you a competitive advantage, right? There are so many roofing companies that have no SEO presence. It really gives you a big advantage, obviously, right? And also provides sustainable growth. So these are all important factors to really just sustain yourself and grow your business online, right? How are you guys liking this information, right? Let me see on the comments right here. Cool, man. I'm glad you guys are liking this information. Um, I see a couple of questions, so I'm gonna ask these keep these questions to the end. I see a couple of questions come in. But basically, what we see is a couple of examples on the screen of consistent growth with SEO, right? So you want to see a positive, trend upline, right? So when it comes down to SEO, these are the really basic things, right? You have to understand, right? Is obviously your keywords are the foundational piece, right? That's why every client that we work with, we do a lot of keyword research to make sure we're targeting the right keywords. Content is king, is important with that. So obviously the content is very important and getting ranked on SEO. On-site optimization is crucial. The off-site stuff is very important. And then having local SEO, it's all very important aspects, right? So when you're analyzing your SEO results, you want to see a trend that's upline, that's consistent uptrend, right? That's what you want to see. Going over roofing estimates online, one of the big things that I see with everything is that the importance of getting more estimates online, because there are a lot of different tools that you can use today to help you get more estimates online, right? So couple of things, right? So people are really demanding more the ability to get more estimates online because there are different tools that make it super simple for a homeowner to get an estimate, right? There's tools like Roofle, Roofer, and RoofCro that help make it easy, right? With Roofle, what you can do for you, if you have actually multiple clients that have Roofle on their website, it's a plugin that you install on your website, and then basically what it does is that it analyzes the data. It gives you the different pricing materials, right? And it gives you a quote, right? And then basically what it does, it gives you more transparency with the people looking you up online. Roofer works very similar to Roofle. It also has more of a CRM right? It's a full CRM. And then Roof Quote Pro, I also heard good things. I never actually used it before, but these are all different tools you can use to really kind of make sense with the things you're doing. There, people are moving into a kind of an e-com model, right? So what I mean by that is that people are and this has been going on solar for a few years now, is the e-com model is basically people are searching for specific roofing companies, and they are getting the information they want online, right? Because it provides more transparency, right? It provides more people want to see what you're actually quoting. They want to compare and contrast versus someone else, and sometimes they just don't want to talk with anybody, right? So and this is really from more Adam Benson. So what I saw from Adam Benson, he gave a presentation about a couple months ago, and he said that the roofing industry is changing, where more people are going to be turning into e-com type of model. Other people that are going to be doing it, they're going to do a hybrid model as well. In the hybrid model, people are going to be getting an estimate online, right? They're going to be looking at the different tools, and they're going to be calling somebody, and somebody's going to come out and give them a real estimate with the information they use, right? The other model is basically just a virtual sale model, right? So this is happening with a few more roofing companies. It's been happening for a long time in the solar industry, and it's just basically all online. So you generate the traffic online, you get the lead online. Somebody submits a quote. In the quote, they get the quote, and they actually talk to a salesperson. The salesperson sets the appointment. They sell it over the phone, right? And when sell it over the phone, they actually, have a person come out and just actually install the roof. So a certain percentage of people are turning into that. It's hard to estimate what percentage of that, maybe 20, 25%, but they're going to be demanding more on the virtual side. And there are pros and cons, right? Pros is that you can do a lot more estimates, you can do a lot more volume, right? The con is that maybe the closing percentage won't be as high, but I really doubt that, right? I think for us, we've transitioned to fully remote. We've done a good job, virtually selling for a long time. And obviously having a in-house in-person sale is actually much easier because you're in person, you can do that sale over the phone. But that's going to happen, right? So people are going to be looking at this in the future, and they're going to have their website as a tool to generate the lead, and they're going to send that lead to these tools to kind of generate the actual proposal, and then people are going to be calling and answering any questions through the phone, and right, and that's kind of the future of this aspect, right? So there's a different things I see, and that's it. So thank you for this. Well, I do have a couple of other questions that I got, and what I'll do is I'll answer these questions that I get on that. But let me see the chat. So a couple questions that I see is, well, how do I choose the right CMS for my roofing website? I already recommended earlier the WordPress, right? The WordPress one is one that we use. We use Elementor to build the website. So that's what we recommend. The other question I get here is what should be included in the footer of my roofing website? So name, address, phone number, links to social media aspects, your phone number, also a link to your blog if you have it on that side. So these are all the different things that I recommend having on the footer. Um, how should how often should I redesign my roofing website? Is a common question we get. Every 3 to 5 years. That's a good metric to use. And how do I track the success of my website? Again, through analytics. You want to track a upward trend, like I showed you earlier. You're making sure that you're actually giving results, and you're measuring the results. You're measuring the traffic. You're measuring the conversions. You're making sure all the elements are incorporated in a good manner, and you're getting the results you want. So it's really about providing a return on your investment, right? So again, thank you for that. If you guys want to learn more information, schedule an intro call and get a free website audit. We'll take a look at your website, no cost, and we can actually give you a free audit, give you like a good report on the things that you can do to improve your website. And obviously, if you want to learn more information about how to work with us, just schedule a call on the bottom of the link, and we can take the next steps. But I do have a couple other questions. See if I pull them up. I don't know why I can't pull them up. Let's see if I pull them up here. Um, So I don't know why I couldn't cancel them up, but I'll answer those questions at a later time. But I really appreciate your time.